Salute everybody. I want to welcome everybody to this demonstration. NAZIYAH Harris case. Is everyone going to stick to their stories time come trial? Part 2. So we went over in part 1, we went over what the evangelist had to say, what Jarvis's baby mother had to say, and what Jarvis's sister had to say. So in part 2, we're going to go over what Shannon said, Miss Annette, and others pertaining to this case. Salute to the chat. Salute to all of my moderators. Salute to the replay game. All right, let's just jump right into what Shannon has to say. And will Shannon stick to her story come time for the trial?
And back on January, or in January 2024, where did you live?
With my mom. Resides with my mother.
With your mother? Okay, who's your mom?
Annette Harris.
And without telling me the exact address, what street did you live on?
Bedford.
And do you have any children?
Yes.
How many kids do you have?
5.
And do all your kids have the same dad? And do you see Jarvis spots in the courtroom today?
Yes.
And can you point to him and tell me the color of the clothing that he's wearing?
Green, blue, whatever. Green.
Green. Your Honor, would the record reflect the witnesses identified the defendant in this case?
So reflected.
Thank you, Judge. And you said your mom's name is Annette. Do you have any sisters?
Yes, 2.
What are their names?
Kenyatta Harris and Marquita Harris.
What if you can create your own website by saying, this is what I want? With Wix, you can.
Are they older, younger, something else?
Oh, they're, Marquita is a twin. She's my twin, same age.
Okay. And Kenyatta's older?
Yes.
Okay. Do you have any nieces or nephews?
Yes.
Do you know someone named NAZIYAH Harris?
Yes.
What's your relationship to her?
My relationship to her, she is my niece. I'm her aunt.
Okay. And whose daughter is she?
My older sister is Kenyatta Harris.
Okay. And did you have any nicknames for NAZIYAH?
Yes. We all call her Tuh.
And is that Tudda?
Yes.
And did NAZIYAH ever know Jarvis through you?
Yes.
Okay. And when did NAZIYAH and Jarvis first meet?
Well, he was a little, like age 2.
All right, so for those that's curious to know, according to Shannon, Jarvis met NAZIYAH when she was 2. According to Shannon. All right.
And Can you kind of describe the relationship between NAZIYAH and Jarvis?
Should be just the uncle and the niece relationship, no more than that.
And in my opinion, this is when the defense is going to drive in on Shannon because they're going to ask Shannon, what did you mean when you was asked about the relationship between Jarvis and NAZIYAH? Of course, she's going to say, yeah, I said that it shouldn't have been no more than a niece and an uncle relationship. Well, the defense is going to drive in and say, how could you say that when you knew at the time when you was asked that question, you knew that the relationship allegedly was more than just a niece and an uncle relationship. Now, I could be reaching. I'll wait until Shannon clears this up, but I'm sure the defense is going to drive in on that right there. How many of y'all feel the same way?
How often would Jarvis be around, like at your house with you?
He will call or say, can he come see the kids? Or the kids will ask, can he see their dad? And he will come pull up either to my house where I used to live or at my mother's house.
Would NAZIYAH ever be around?
All the kids would be around.
To your knowledge, would NAZIYAH ever text Jarvis?
From my knowledge, no, unless I will have her to text.
But to your knowledge, you didn't know of any kind of separate outside relationship?
No.
There it is right there. To your knowledge, you didn't know of any outside kind of relationships. Now, where are we going at with this, Shannon? Because we clearly knows, and in this same preliminary hearing, closer to the end, when it gets into these text messages, inappropriately text messages, you said when you questioned Jarvis about these text messages, Jarvis tried to lie and try to tell you that that must have been the kids texting back and forth. However, you said, no, it couldn't have been the kids because our kids don't text like that. So you knew that it was more. You knew that NAZIYAH was texting Jarvis. So why did you lie, Shannon? This is what the defense is going to zoom in on. It ain't take for Shankrock to bring this up. It ain't take for no one else, the other content creator. The defense already knew this. You don't think the defense was paying attention? You don't think Jarvis was paying attention? Why do you think Jarvis was taking notes? Jarvis is not new to this. So the defense is going to be all over Shannon's testimony. So the question comes, is Shannon going to stick to her stories? What is she going to assume? How is she going to try to get out of this? Kamara says Shannon, she doesn't know nothing about literally lying. Exactly. You should have just came clean. I get it. You want to buy some time. You know, you want to buy as much time as you can. I get it. But these are the things that is going to bite you in the ass comes trial, Shannon. So just be prepared. So as y'all can see, I'm helping Jarvis and Shannon. I'm helping everybody. I'm trying to put y'all up on some game, how to be prepared when you go in that court. Exactly. And she knew what the text said about Janiyah. Facts. This is all facts. They better be like Perry Mason on them. And I think they will, Yusef. I think they will. She lying. She knew. She read it. That's facts. That's facts. Shannon, you done this to yourself. You done it to yourself. And whether we on social media stop talking about the case, the defense, they already have all of this information. They didn't need for us on social media to give them this information. They knew about this information before we even peeped it because they were in the courtroom taking notes. Hey, this read from DC, and they need to pull those text scripts between the family during the time she went missing, as I know they can. Exactly. Shout out to all my people from DC. Can I get everybody to give Reed a warm welcome? Shout out to DC, y'all. That whole DMV area. Facts. They are the prime example of when a dummy think they are smart. Facts. Hello, Michelle. I mean, facts. I mean, you can't make this ish up. And I'm sure, Shannon, I'm sure you've had a chance to say, damn, I said that. Damn, I messed up. Damn, I shouldn't have said this. Damn, I'm sure you know that, Shannon. But let's keep it real, though. Let's not blame social media. All right? Let's blame you. Let's blame you.
Would there ever be times where where did you know Jarvis Butts to work?
Pardon?
Where did you know Jarvis Butts to work?
Where did I know him to work at?
Yes.
He worked at 2 different locations. The first location would be on East Warren, and the other location would be on Gratiot and Connor.
And what were those locations?
Those are the auto repair shop.
Okay. Would you ever know NAZIYAH to help Jarvis Butts at his shop?
And I'll tap in to see whether or not Shannon got out of jail. I don't know if any of the other content creators have covered it, but if anybody knows whether or not Shannon has got out of jail, please let us know in the chat or on the replay gang. If not, I'll check into whether or not she got out, and I'll let it be known tomorrow whether or not Shannon got out of jail.
Yes.
He worked at 2 different locations. The first location would be on East Warren, and the other location would be on Gratiot and Connor.
And what were those locations?
Those are the auto repair shop.
Okay. Would you ever know NAZIYAH to help Jarvis Butts at his shop?
Yes, he will call me and say, hey, if I can get our daughter and NAZIYAH come and work up at the shop. And I would say, let me ask my mom first regarding NAZIYAH.
And which daughter of yours would that be?
That would be my oldest, Janiyah.
Okay. Would you ever know NAZIYAH to go to Jarvis's shop alone?
No.
Now, who was NAZIYAH with the day she allegedly went missing? Who was NAZIYAH up at the shop with when she allegedly went missing? Why was she up there alone? All right. We know that NAZIYAH didn't come home from school at 3, right? We know that Miss Annette sent one of the children in, I believe, around 6. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. So 3 hours went by, no NAZIYAH. What happened is what needs to be established. Exactly what did Miss Annette do? Where did she go? What did Shannon do? Where did she go? See how God works. She done went to jail. Facts. I think they should have did a forensic on Annette's house because that's where everything happened. When Jarvis dropped her off and Shannon snapped. Exactly. And that's what most people believe, that Jarvis dropped NAZIYAH back home and NAZIYAH and Shannon got into it. Shannon allegedly unalived NAZIYAH. Shannon then called Jarvis to come back and clean it up. I think they should have did a forensic. Okay, I read that. Okay, thanks. I heard that she was arrested, but didn't know if it was facts. I agree.
birthday is on or around September 26th?
That's my oldest, my fourth oldest birthday.
Do you recall a birthday party on September 26th of 2022?
Yes.
Okay. And was Jarvis there?
No.
Okay, and that would have been his son's birthday party?
Yes.
Were there ever times that you would text Jarvis off of a text now number?
The only time I would text Jarvis off a text now number is if my phone is off. Other than that, no.
And do you recall the numbers that you would text Jarvis from?
Yes.
Okay. And does a 586-510-5161 sound familiar?
Yes.
And what number is that?
That used to be my old number.
And is that number that you would text Jarvis from?
Yes.
Okay. And what about a 586-842-4504?
That was the number before this number.
Before the 510 number?
Correct.
Okay. And is that a number you would also text Jarvis from?
Correct.
And what number did you have for Jarvis funds?
The 313-585-8719.
And did you have any numbers for NAZIYAH?
It was a funny looking area code. The area code was a 231.
Okay. I want to show you some messages from People's Exhibit 16 and ask you some questions about them, okay?
Okay.
Brandon, may I approach?
Yes.
I'm going to direct you to messages on or about June 27th of 2023. Do you recall those messages? Did you send any of those messages to Jarvis Bucks?
No.
Okay. And do you know, I believe there's a phone number here that's highlighted. Whose phone number do you know that to be?
Jarvis Butts.
Okay. And you don't recall ever sending any of those messages?
No.
Okay. And now I want to direct you to messages from June 28th of 2023. How about any of these? Did you send any of these to Jarvis Bucks?
No.
What about any messages from July 2nd of 2023? Did you send any of those messages?
No.
These messages is what's going to come back and bite Shannon in the a-hole. That's a Chicago area code. Ironic, Chicago is big on traffic. And also, I see you, Miss Low-Key. That's a damn shame. I'll have to go look, but I believe either the beginning of this month or last month. The kitchen table is fine. Excuse me, y'all. Trafficking human in Oregon. It's a cold world. These text messages is what's going to bury Shannon, because now it's going to come out that Shannon, you knew about these text messages. I see you, Amber. Appreciate you for pulling up. Appreciate this super sticker, Leo. We do have a goal that we're trying to reach on this demonstration. That goal is 15 super stickers or super chats. you could click on the dollar symbol and purchase a super sticker or a super chat. My twin, same age. Sure, your twin will be the same age as you. But once again, they're establishing these text messages, Shannon. And I'm just trying to figure out, how is Shannon going to get around indicating, testifying she didn't know nothing about these text messages, let alone she not sending the text messages. Ms. Jackson says, so why did she send the text to Ramon? I mean, you can't make this up. You're busted, Shannon. There's no way of getting around this.
What about messages from August 26th, 2023? Did you send any of those to Jarvis Butts?
Sorry,
August 26th.
No, these aren't my messages.
You better hope, Shannon, that you didn't send those messages. I could tell you that much. You better hope that you was telling the truth about the messages, Shannon. Now, if you was telling the truth, then you're good. You're good if you was telling the truth.
Jarvis Butts ever tell you that NAZIYAH texted him to meet up on January 9th, 2024?
No.
Did you tell Jarvis Butts about not being able to locate NAZIYAH on January 9th, 2024?
Yes.
And tell me, how did you tell him that?
I called him. He didn't answer. I sent him a message asking him, have he seen Tuda any whereabouts? And I said no Tuda, and he responded back. Oh wow.
I didn't hear what you said. The last part.
Last part I had I texted him. Well, at first I called him. He didn't answer. The second time I sent him a message, still no Tuda. He replied back, oh wow.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. And Your Honor, may I approach?
Yes.
And just for record references, I'm showing her what's going to be proposed, People's Exhibit 48. Ms. Harris, those text messages that you just referenced, do you see those on this page?
Yes.
Okay. And so it's fair to say you stated,
if you're a man who makes at least $150K a year and you feel self-conscious about your gut sticking out, I'll get you shredded or you won't pay it.
to Mr. Butts, well, first of all, whose phone number is this at the top?
The phone number is my old telephone number.
Okay, and who is the phone number below that?
Jarvis Butts.
Okay. And is this, I guess, these fairly inaccurately represent these two messages? 3, 4, 5, 6 messages sent between you and Mr. Butts on January 9th, 2024 through January 11th, 2024.
The first page is, yes, it's correct. Second page. It's correct. Yes.
Okay. And so in January 9th, like you had indicated before, you had stated that you told him that there was still no ton-up.
Correct.
Okay. And you said he responded, "Oh, wow."
Correct.
Okay. And on January 11th, was NAZIYAH still missing?
Yes.
Okay. And did you ask Mr. Butts to do something?
At this point, I just asked that if she's going to read from the text message, just admit the exhibit.
I
You have an
can.
issue with moving to admit?
No, Judge.
Okay.
These fairly and accurately represent text messages between you and your phone to Jarvis and his phone between, well, they start back earlier. Some from December 3rd, 2023 through January 21st of 2024. These fairly and accurately represent text messages between
Yes.
you and your phone to Mr. Butts and his phone.
Yes.
Okay. Your Honor, I move for the admission of People's Proposed Exhibit 48. Objection.
Okay, they'll be admitted.
Thank you, Judge. So on January 11th, did you ask Mr. Butts to do something?
Yes.
And what is it that you asked him to do?
I asked him, can he share the missing flyer on his Facebook page?
Okay. And did you send him a copy of that missing flyer?
Yes.
Okay. And to backtrack just a little bit, on December 3rd, 2023, do you recall sending messages asking Mr. Butts if he needed NAZIYAH for anything?
Yes, I do remember.
Okay. So do you remember this text on the first page of People's Exhibit 48?
Yes, I do remember this message.
Okay. And did you send that message?
Yes.
Okay. And what did the message say?
Tada said, do you still need her too?
Okay. And do you know what is that referring to?
It was, Tada had asked me to contact Jarvis and see if he still needed them to clean up.
Okay. And that would be to clean up his shop?
Yes.
Okay. And to fast forward, on January 21st of 2024, you sent some messages to Mr. Butts. Is that fair to say?
Yes.
Okay. And can you read these last three messages?
These last three messages is, to be honest, these messages I seen into the inbox to you, I really don't know what to believe anymore. Stay away, Ramon, I mean it. The next message is, I don't know what to say, or Tada is on. Since this shit doesn't sit right with me, call it what you want. I'm good, period. It says, this for life. Nigga, I thought about it, and you can pass it.
Now, in Shannon's defense, and y'all help me out. Now, this is Shannon texting Jarvis January the 21st, right? If I'm not mistaken. So this is after NAZIYAH's alleged disappearance. Maybe Shannon was on the blind side of their relationship. I don't know. Maybe. Because she lied too much. Because January 21st, because Shannon could always come back and say, I text him January the 21st because that's when I started to find out these things that was going on between my niece and Jarvis. I don't know. That's why I'm asking you all. And I want to cover all grounds. Maybe Shannon is innocent. Is there anybody out there? Drop a 1 if it's anybody out there that feels as though Shannon is innocent. Shannon knew nothing. That's all she knows how to say while she's thinking up the next lie to tell. But you said you didn't know they had something going on, but you read it. Exactly. Drop a 1 if you think Shannon is innocent.
And don't call me, no need to explain shit. I already see it.
Okay, so you were referencing some messages that you saw in Tada's inbox.
Correct.
Tell me, how did you see some messages? Well, first of all, where these messages, where were they at?
The day of Officer Gardner came to pick up Naziyah's tablet. My mom asked me to put it on the charger. I put it on the charger. Officer Gardner, after that, Officer Gardner called and said she's on her way.
Without saying what.
Okay, I'm sorry. The officer had called and said that they was on their way to come
Still
pick up
hearsay.
the tablet.
Okay,
Okay, so,
sustain as far as hearsay.
yes, thank you, Judge. Okay, continue.
So before the tablet was picked up, I looked inside to this tablet. She has 2 passwords that I normally know. So one of them is referenced for her brother's birthday, and the other one is referenced from my password. So I put the first password in, it didn't work. So I put the second password in. So the first thing I went to was Instagram, which I was scrolling. And I seen Jarvis Butt's Instagram page. I clicked on his page and I seen 2 messages.
Okay, and what were the messages that you saw? Who were they between, first of all?
Naziyah, my niece, and Jarvis.
Okay, and what were the messages that you seen?
It was roughly 2 messages that I have seen that I can recall. States,
I'm gonna object to this as hearsay. They have not been admitted, and the messages themselves would be the evidence.
Were the messages of a sexual nature?
no,
Okay, and you said you saw 2 messages.
yes.
Okay, did you see anything else?
It was two sent pictures, but you can't really make anything out. It wasn't nothing there, but it was a picture was sent.
Okay. What did seeing those messages, what did they cause you to do?
Well, when I see no messages, I called him
Who's
and Jarvis Butts.
Okay.
Called him while he was at work, asked him, what is these messages I seen between you and my niece? And he said, what messages? Said it's 2 particular messages that states out and there's a picture. And he stated that, I don't know, these messages, I told him what the messages were, and he said it was probably our children was messaging him. And I stated no, because I know how our children will text.
And reading those messages, is that what caused you to text
Mr. Butts, yes.
Mr. Butts, in that you've seen the messages in the inbox and you don't really know what to believe anymore?
Correct.
One second. So, Shannon, I want to take you back to January 9th. Were you home that day?
Yes.
Okay. And did you see Naziyah that day?
My senior did that morning, correct.
And do you remember what she was wearing at all?
Her coat and her uniform at the time.
So let me just clear the air. So the message is that they're talking about on the 21st was January the 21st. January the 9th is the day when Naziyah didn't come home from school. January the 10th is when the family reported to the school. January 21st is these messages that she's questioning Shannon about, that she sent on the 21st about her questioning Jarvis about him and Naziyah's relationship. Jarvis don't get locked up until the following month. Jarvis gets locked up the following month.
So, Shannon, I want to take you back to January 9th. Were you home that day?
Yes,
Okay. And did you see Naziah that day?
my senior did, that morning, correct.
And do you remember what she was wearing at all?
Her coat and her uniform at the time, she had on some blue jeans. I don't really recall the outfit. I just know the coat she had on.
What was the coat that she had on?
She had on, it was a 90s coat with all the characters on it.
And you recall seeing her wearing that the morning of January 9th?
Correct.
And your Honor, may I approach people's already exhibit 2?
Yes.
I'm going to show you people's exhibit 2. Can you tell me, do you recognize a coat in this photo?
Yes,
And whose coat do you recognize that to be?
Naziah's.
Okay. Now, after you, when you saw Naziah that morning, what did you do the rest of the morning?
Nothing, I was at home with my mom and my 2 children.
And do you ever leave the house at any point that day?
No, I was at the house the whole entire day.
And do you know what time Naziah would normally get home from school?
On certain days, she will stay for after school, and then on certain days she will come home. The days she will stay for after school is 6, and the days that she don't is at 3 o'clock.
Okay. And on January 9th, do you know if Naziah had the after-school program?
Yes. At that time, my mom took her out of the after-school program, so she will come home directly at 3 o'clock.
Okay. And were you home at 3 o'clock?
Yes.
And did you see Naziah come home?
No.
Okay. And did you see her come home at all the rest of the night?
No.
Did you leave at any point after 3 o'clock?
No.
Did you, yes, when Naziah didn't come home, did that cause you to experience or feel any type of way?
It did. When she didn't come home is when my mom went to go pick up the other 2 children from the after-school program. They knocked on the door and they had asked a question and said,
Objection, sounds like hearsay.
One second. You have a response or?
A question isn't hearsay technically.
I think she said.
It's just a question.
She
yes.
was getting ready to say a question. Okay,
What
finish
was
what
the,
you
what
were
was the question?
The 2 children had asked me, Mom said, did
That's the hearsay. Mom-
Naziah come home?
The hearsay is mom said.
Okay, so were you asked directly whether Naziah came home?
So my mom was still in the car. I was inside the house. They was coming to the house, walking up to the door. When I opened the door, they asked me, Mom said, did Naziah come home? I said, no.
Now, my question is, why would Miss Annette send the kids in there to ask whether or not Naziah came home? What or who tipped Miss Annette off? Because it would seem more like to me that the kids would go in, Miss Annette would go in, and they would say Naziah, or they would, even ask her, where's Naziah? But why did Miss Annette specifically send the 2 kids in to ask, did Naziah come home? If Naziah has never done this kind of thing before, why would they come in? Why would Miss Annette send them in on a mission to ask whether or not Naziah came home? I'll let you all decide on that.
And was Naziah home at all?
No.
Okay. And did you do any sort of looking for Naziah that night?
Yes.
What did you do?
I called my twin sister. I called some of her friends that I know that stays close by. If they had seen Naziah, heard from Naziah and everything. And when I reached out to my sister, she said no. her friend said no. So after that, I asked my mom, did she want me to call police? She said no, she will take it up in the morning.
Now that is a crucial piece to this case. Why did Miss Annette tell Shannon not to call the police? Because she'll take it up in the morning. Something ain't right. Something ain't right. If NAZIYAH didn't come home, and if NAZIYAH is this good child, where's the sense of, where's the urgency at? What, you get where I'm coming from? So now we're going to chop it up just a little bit about NAZIYAH running away. Could it have been from the very beginning NAZIYAH running away? Part one, we chopped it up about the evangelist and how he feels that NAZIYAH ran away. Is that why Miss Annette didn't take it serious? Was it already in the atmosphere that NAZIYAH was going to run away? The evangelist said the kids were in the kitchen. The kids spoke about this multiple times. He even said that he even mentioned it to Miss Annette about it. So did they already know something like this was going to take place? Somebody tipped Miss Annette off, or either Shannon is just completely lying, Miss Annette is just completely lying. But once again, will Shannon stick to this when it's time for trial? All of this is coming out. It's Shannon. It's going to come out. Is everyone going to stick to their stories? This don't make sense unless NAZIYAH really ran away. Somebody tipped Miss Annette off, or Shannon and Miss Annette is behind the disappearance and the alleged red rum of NAZIYAH Harris. It's this, you can't piece this together. You can try to piece it together. You can't piece it together. Where is NAZIYAH Harris? As the evangelist said, could NAZIYAH Harris be looking at us right now laughing? Don't know. Don't know. We'll know in a few more weeks. We'll know whether or not Jarvis is going to change his guilty or not guilty. We'll know if he changed him from being not guilty to guilty, if he's going to take a plea. We'll know when it comes to trial. Me personally, I don't want a plea agreement. I want Jarvis to stand trial. This is what I want to happen in this case. I want Jarvis to stand trial. And I want whatever it is that Jarvis is guilty of, I want Jarvis to serve prison time for whatever it is he's guilty of. Whoever else had any kind of involvement in the disappearance and potential unaliving of NAZIYAH, I want them all to go down. I want them all to go down. I want this whole thing, I want that family, I want the secrets of that family to be put on the forefront. Why? There's still children involved. It's still children there that's going to suffer this trauma, that's still going to go through the same kind of trauma. little bit more, and we're gonna switch lanes to Miss Annette. A couple more minutes, and we'll switch to Miss Annette.
Desire to have a pair of red and black Nike shoes.
Yes.
And if I showed you a picture of them, would you be able to identify them?
Yes.
Karen, may I approach?
Yes.
And for the record, this is going to be from People's Proposed Exhibit 14, and it'll be picture 34. Do you recognize these shoes?
Yes, that's a pair of shoes that my mom bought for to the birthday.
Okay, thank you. Now, back on the 9th, you said your mom was going to file a police report in the morning.
Correct.
Okay, did you go with her to file a police report in the morning?
No, it was my older sister.
Okay. Did you do anything on the 10th as it relates to trying to find NAZIYAH?
Yes. We went out. I and some others went out to go get some pictures, make copies. We went to other stores, passed out flyers, and everything that we need to do. Like what was asked of us to do.
Since January 9th, 2024, have you seen NAZIYAH?
No.
Have you, since January 9th, 2024, have you heard from NAZIYAH?
No.
Nothing further at this time, Judge. Thank you, Judge.
Ms. Harris, I also have some questions for you. You and Mr. Butts have been, or you've known him for about 12 years?
Correct.
And fair to say that you were in a dating relationship with him most of that time?
Correct.
But towards the end, like last year, it was more off and on, fair to say?
No, it was on and off for years.
For years, okay. But you have 5 children with him?
Correct.
And this relationship that you had with him, even towards the end when it was on, it was a sexual relationship, right?
Correct.
Sometimes you go to a motel to have sex with him,
Correct. Yes.
and that motel was the Park Crest Inn.
Or the SharePoint.
There's more than one,
Multiples, yes.
but one of them was the Park Crest. Said yes,
Correct.
and it's up in Harper Woods
Correct.
on Harper.
Correct.
Do you know if Mr. Butts, or do you suspect that Mr. Butts has taken other women to those motels also?
Correct.
You do.
Mm,
I believe you said that you have, of your 5 children with him, 2 are girls
yes.
and 3 are boys.
Correct.
And in January of this time, well, January 2023, you were living with your mother on Bedford, correct?
Correct.
Prior to that, were you living in Clinton Township?
Correct.
When did you leave the Clinton Township home and move to the Bedford home?
October 23.
And so there were times when you were in Clinton Township that Mr. Butts would travel out there to see the kids.
Correct.
And then when you moved to the Bedford address, he would go to the Bedford address to see the kids.
Correct.
And then the Bedford address is when NAZIYAH was also living there, correct?
Correct.
And I believe you just testified that on January the 9th, you were living at that house in
Correct.
Bedford, and you were there during the day.
Correct.
And so were you one of the first people that realized that NAZIYAH did not come home when she was expected to be home?
Well, I didn't realize it until I had got a question. By the other kids had asked, did I have NAZIYAH came home yet, or have I seen her? And I said no.
Do you remember what time that was in the afternoon?
That was in the evening. My mom picked them up 6 o'clock.
So that was about 3 hours later than she normally should have been home.
Correct.
So NAZIYAH don't come home for 3 hours, from 3 to 6. No sense of emergency. Nothing registers to Shannon that your niece don't come home for 3 hours. A little bit more from Shannon, and we're going to switch to Annette, y'all.
Was that surprising?
Yes, it was. One, we thought that she was at the after school program, but it didn't dawn on no one until my mom came back to the house and she wasn't here, or she wasn't in the car when they had got in the car.
So it don't dawn on no one till they come back. That should have been the first thing Mom Dukes should have said. Well, where's she at? Because obviously, well, I do believe, according to Shannon, Mom Dukes sent the two in the house to ask whether or not she came home. So why did it take longer? As soon as Miss Annette found out that Tudor didn't come home, Miss Annette and Shannon should have knew right then and there. Why would Miss Annette be asking whether or not she came home? You can't make this ish up. Just a little bit more, and we're going to switch to Miss Annette.
And so when you all realized that she wasn't at school and she wasn't at home, was that surprising?
Yes.
But you didn't go to Felix that night.
No.
She ever not returned home previously?
No, this is her first time ever doing this.
Did she have friends in the neighborhood that she would go visit?
Yes.
And you said, are those the folks that you contacted to ask?
Yes.
We ain't buying it. And like Chick says, she just said Annette took her out. Let's switch lanes to Miss Annette, y'all.
But yeah, she was.
Okay. And did you keep track of her social media pages like TikTok or Facebook or anything like that?
I tried, a lot of times, I would take her phone and stuff from her, so, to keep her from being on there,
And after the 9th, did you ever see any posts made by NAZIYAH?
I didn't see any posts. Most of the time, if there was a post or something, or she posts, my daughter or someone would call me and tell me.
Have you ever heard, after the 9th, heard any communication or seen NAZIYAH?
Mm-mm.
When, is that a no?
No.
And when you dropped her off on the 9th at school at J.E. Clark, was that the last time you saw her?
Yes.
May I have one moment, sir?
Yes.
Just to follow up, I did forget to ask this. Her bus stop, how far from your house was that in walking distance?
5 minutes.
Do you know where the location that she got dropped off at was, the address or the intersection?
Right there at a 3 Mile Drive in Cornwall.
And that's 5 minutes from your house?
Yeah.
And did NAZIYAH have any nicknames that people called her?
Where her family called her Tudor, but I've always called her Glamorous. I've been calling her ever since she was born.
Is it Glamour?
Glamorous.
Oh. May I have one more objection?
Yes. You said Tudor?
Tudor.
Tudor.
Mm-hmm.
I have nothing further, Justin.
Okay, Russ.
Good morning, Sheriff.
Good morning.
Now, you are NAZIYAH's maternal grandmother, right?
Correct.
You're also her adopted parent, correct?
Correct.
And you said you adopted her in 2016?
Yeah, should have been 16.
Okay. Is her birth mother still around?
She is.
Okay, does she have a relationship with her?
No.
She doesn't have any type of relationship, no contact with her that you know of?
Well, let me say this. I don't deal with my daughter, so she really didn't have really no contact with NAZIYAH like that. She only came around now and then.
Okay. And you testified that you currently stay on Bedford Street?
Yes,
In fact, I think you testified you lived on 2 houses on Bedford Street.
correct.
And did NAZIYAH have friends on Bedford Street that you were aware of?
She had friends, but her friends didn't live on Bedford.
Okay. Do you know if she ever had any friends over?
No,
Did she ever spend the night at any of these friends' houses?
no,
And at your prior neighborhood, did she have friends that she may have spent the night over?
no.
You indicated that there are approximately 6 children in the house.
Well, not now. When he asked me about the address,
Yes.
I lived at 2 houses, which is on the same street of Bedford.
Okay.
Okay, so the house that we lived in before, it was my children and my daughter's children.
Your daughter being Shannon,
No, Marquita.
Marquita.
Mhm.
Okay. And did NAZIYAH have any close relationship with any of these children particularly?
She was close with my granddaughter, one of my granddaughters, yeah.
Which granddaughter is that?
NAZIYAH. I mean, Janiyah.
Okay.
All of their names are similar.
And Janiyah is Shannon's daughter?
Yes,
That would be Jarvis's daughter as well, correct?
correct.
And at your Bedford Street address, how many adults live there?
Just me and Shannon.
Okay. When did Shannon move in?
I'm sorry.
When did Shannon move in to Bedford?
Oh, I guess back in October, last October or something.
That would be October of 23.
Yeah,
So in January of 24, she was there, correct?
hmm
Sorry, is that a yes?
yes, yes.
And you indicated that NAZIYAH participated in social media?
She did participate in social media. She was on social media a lot of times when she wasn't supposed to be.
Okay. So did you see her post or did you follow her post?
I didn't see her really posting anything. I mean, at times when I did check, I didn't find anything.
Okay.
And most of the time, if she did post something, my daughter's then would, let me know, if she posted something. But
So you don't know who her social media friends were?
the only person that I know that was one of her classmates that she would post little things with one of her little classmates.
Okay. But it's fair to say there are some things you did not know.
Yeah, well, something, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Let me jump down to the chat. Let me see what the chat got going on. She forgot what child she was talking about. Make sure y'all hit that like button. I see you, leisure lady. Bruh, didn't this lady just say NAZIYAH wasn't really on social media because she takes her phone? That's what she said, Lola. That's what she said. She makes it seem like it was a crime for her to be on TikTok. That's all she did was post and dance. That's all I saw her do. You know, but like you said, she make it seem like it was a crime for her to be on TikTok and other social media platforms. I wonder if they were bright enough to obtain counsel. Good question, chick. Because they didn't do nothing but really dig a ditch for themselves. I mean, you can't make this ish up. She is the one when one of her nieces told her about her man trying to touch her, and she told her, well, baby, why you didn't let him? Facts. Facts. But the whole purpose of this demonstration is to find out, are they going to stick to their stories? Because in my opinion, their testimonies was full of ish. They lied, and it's just a bunch of BS. Kamara says she just lied. I mean, I can't wait. I can't wait. That was NAZIYAH's outlet from the crazy ish she was forced to experience. Exactly. We saw plenty of times. If you would like to support the platform by a cash donation, my cash app is $ERICMCINT. They can't keep up their lies. They'll be saying, I don't recall. Facts. I don't recall saying that. Real talk. They better write down every lie they tell. So true, Michelle. Because they told a lot. A lot of lies. We want to know, where is NAZIYAH? We're less than a month away. It's going to come out. We want to know, where is NAZIYAH? Jarvis was the scapegoat. They will not even remember the lies they told. Jarvis is guilty of the inappropriately touching. Jarvis is a monster. But Jarvis is not the only one that should go down. That's what we're saying. They done. I pray the prosecutor has better questions because they suck. Shaking my head, I would have asked all stuff. Well, I got 2.5 weeks to get it started. Once again, for those that want to know, when is the trial? Jury selection will begin on October the 6th, 2025. Prosecutors said they will call 40 or more witnesses to the stand, while the defense plans to call 10 or more. The trial is expected to last 3 to 4 days. Now, these are some text messages. This is the final text exchange between Jarvis and NAZIYAH before she went missing. This is NAZIYAH. Don't forget, be there before 3. I will let you know when I'm leaving the school. If you're not there, I will wait. Send okay if you see the message so I can delete your number. So she's telling him, be there before 3. I want to know, where did she want Jarvis to be at before 3? Because according to this text message, she met with Jarvis. Once again, did NAZIYAH plan to run away? And if she planned to run away, did it go left? Here is the text message between Shannon and allegedly Roxy. Shannon is saying to Roxy, to be honest, I do believe Tudor planned this ish out. All she really did is watch and observe Vari when he did it last year, to be honest. And once again, the evangelist feels as though NAZIYAH ran away. Now, in Michigan, the willful killing of a quick unborn child is classified as manslaughter under the Michigan Penal Code, not red rum. Manslaughter carries penalties of up to 15 years in prison and fines. This law applies to injury to the mother that causes the death of a viable fetus. And give me a second. Does not apply to actions specifically aimed at the fetus, such as abortion. So many of us want to know, why didn't the state charge Jarvis with the unaliving of NAZIYAH's baby? Many feel like Shank, he is charged with 2 red rums. But according to Michigan, the child that's unalive, you can only charge them with manslaughter. I'll say it again. They have not charged Jarvis with the unaliving of the child that NAZIYAH was carrying. If they was, they would be charging him with manslaughter. Why hasn't they charged Jarvis with the unaliving of that child? While her body has not been recovered, police said there is an overwhelming amount of evidence that butts red rum hers, right? Overwhelming. Here's the definition of overwhelming. Overwhelming evidence refers to a large, compelling amount of proof that decisively supports a conclusion, leaving little room for doubt or alternative explanations. It is evidence that is so persuasive and convincing that it makes the truth of an argument almost certain. I'll let y'all decide whether or not the evidence that we have seen that they've presented, is it enough evidence? Overwhelming. Is that enough evidence to prove that Jarvis unalived NAZIYAH, not inappropriately touched her? Is it overwhelming evidence that proves that Jarvis unalived NAZIYAH? My question is, was there a motive? Did Jarvis have a motive? Who had the motive? Many of us believe that Shannon had a motive to unalive NAZIYAH. Many of us believe that Jarvis didn't have no motive to unalive her. All of his children's mother, most of them was underage. He didn't unalive them. I'm just saying. Valerie says no. Once again, this channel is a non-biased channel. This channel allows for different points of views to be heard. Respect the channel like you would want others to respect yours. Enjoy the content. So these are things that we're searching for. Now, once again, this evidence, in my opinion, Shannon had a motive. I think Miss Annette didn't have a motive, but however, you never know. He didn't, but Shannon did. There's no physical evidence or proof that she was pregnant, just word of mouth and speculations. It has to be proven. That's facts, Ivory. I'm right there with you, Ivory. I honestly don't think he had a motive to unalive her, as sick as it sounds, but I feel like he loved her too much for that. 75% of the people believe exactly what you just said, Ree. You're not the only one that believe that. Ms. Jackson, I hope it's not postponed. I see you, Bridget. Appreciate you for pulling up with us, Bridget. I see you. Shout out to Bridget. Bridget always is on that replay game. I'll be seeing you, Bridget. A big shout out to Bridget. Let me highlight you, Bridget, because Bridget be in the chat as well as that replay game. Shout out to Bridget, y'all. Jacqueline is another one. All right. CC, okay, they can't charge him with unaliving the baby until they have undeniable evidence that she was pregnant. Facts. That's facts. Defense can argue they got discovery too late. And that's one of the loopholes, Miss Jackson, that I know for certain the defense is going to definitely use. The DNA shows a baby boy. Why they charge him with either of their red rum? They make it seem like it's more evidence that may be pointed towards somebody else who had helped him. I'm with you on that, T. Maybe because there is no baby and no medical record stating she was actually pregnant. All right.
Now, you indicated that you drove NAZIYAH to school every day, correct?
Correct.
Who else went to school in NAZIYAH?
My other two children, Shannon's children.
Okay. And what type of student was NAZIYAH?
NAZIYAH was a very good student, very mannerable, very outgoing. She got good grades. Her attendance was good. The teachers had no problem with her. They really liked NAZIYAH. NAZIYAH got along with just about anybody. She was very likable.
Everybody liked it, NAZIYAH, but everybody failed NAZIYAH. Appreciate this super sticker Rhapsody. I'm going to say it again. Everybody liked it, NAZIYAH, but everybody failed NAZIYAH. I don't want nobody to like Shank Rock. You hear me? I don't want y'all to like me, because if that's the price that one has to pay, if everybody likes you, don't like Shank Rock. Everybody liked it, the great NAZIYAH Harris, but nobody protected her. They all failed to protect her. She had to reach out to a monster by the name of Jarvis Butts. That was the closest person that she felt refuge in, that she felt safe, that she turned towards, the very monster that's taking advantage of her. Y'all ought to be ashamed of yourself. All right, Bridget. Y'all ought to be ashamed of yourself. Seriously. Y'all better get on y'all knees and y'all better pray for God's forgiveness. I tell you that much. Better pray that God forgives y'all for how y'all treated NAZIYAH and how y'all failed NAZIYAH.
Did she have any disciplinary problems?
No,
Do you recall her ever getting into a fight?
she did.
One fight, more than one fight?
There was a young lady that she had a couple of, consultations with in school. And it was like an ongoing situation.
Okay. And when did this first start?
I'm not quite sure when it started, but it was like off and on, with this particular schoolmate that she had.
And this is for her current school, right?
Yes.
Okay. Now, did NAZIYAH participate in any extracurricular activities? Was she on band or anything?
She liked it. gym, robotics, art. I mean, she liked a lot of things she was, involved in,
And when these things caused her to have stayed after school?
The only time she stayed after school is when she wanted to be enrolled in the after school program.
Just one. I just want to step back a moment. We asked you about her social media. You said there were some things that you weren't aware of on social media, correct? Did you ever check her direct messages?
Like I said, I did, but when I did, there was nothing on there.
There was nothing.
No.
Okay. Did you monitor any of her conversations?
Yeah. I would, go check,
Okay.
But like I said, a lot of times, I took NAZIYAH's tablet, from her, at one point, so there was really nothing that I knew of that she was on unless she got somebody's cell phone or something,
Okay. So you did mention that she had a tablet. How many devices did she have that allowed her to connect to social media?
She only had that one tablet that I had bought her.
Okay.
And like I said, I took that tablet and put that tablet up.
So on January 9th, you took her to school, correct?
Correct.
And you said it was her and two of your other children that went to school?
My two other children and my daughter's children. I dropped them all off.
And you said that you noticed that she did not come home at her normal time.
Correct.
All right. You did not call the police then, correct?
No. Driving around looking for her. My daughter reached out to some of her classmates. I did nothing. And that morning, I got up. And like I said, I went straight to the school. And from there, I was on my way to the police station to make the report. And they called the police from there. DPS police came to the school.
Now, which one is it? Did the Detroit Police Department get involved 30 days later? Somebody help me out now. Is this another lie that Miss Annette has been caught in? Appreciate this super sticker, YME. Appreciate the super sticker. And if you would like to help me reach my goal of 15 super stickers or super chats, just click on the $ symbol and purchase a super sticker or a super chat. Did Miss Annette get caught in another lie? She is such a liar. Shaking my head. She ain't driving around nowhere. Looking for her. Need 30 more likes. Y'all get my likes up. Because which one is it now? Kids can get around the restrictions that are put on the school tablets or laptops they take home. Another freaking lie. Appreciate the super chat, Big Mama. I have 5 adopted kids and 1 biological son, 9 grandkids. Ain't no way I'm not protecting these kids. Now, did y'all hear her say that Detroit Police Department got involved that same day, which is the 10th? But we were under the impression from Kim Worthy, Detroit Police Department didn't get involved until 30 days later. Detroit Police Department even confessed to not being alerted to this case for 30 days because they said they had been notified earlier, then for sure the investigation wouldn't have been jacked up. Let me backtrack Miss Annette and see if I heard her correctly. Because according to her, Detroit Police Department was notified that same day. Let's tap into it, y'all.
Did you notice that she did not come home at her normal time?
Correct.
All right. You did not call the police then, correct?
No. Driving around looking for her. My daughter reached out to some of her classmates. I did nothing. And that morning, I got up, and like I said, I went straight to the school. And from there, I was on my way to police station to make the report. And they called the police from there. DPS police came to the school.
So the first report you made to the police was the next morning.
Yes.
Do you know approximately what time?
School starts at 7:30, so I got there at 7:30. They got there about, I don't know, maybe 8.
Somebody's lying, y'all. But it ain't Shank Rock, the Rock Squad. It ain't us. Somebody's lying. Appreciate the super sticker, Sonya. Somebody's lying. Will they stick to their stories come time of trial? When did the Detroit Police Department get involved in this case? Can somebody help me understand? When did Detroit Police Department get involved? Yes, we know they never looked for that baby. They was too busy trying to cover things up. Kim Worthy, can you come out of the bushes? Can somebody tell us exactly when the Detroit Police Department get involved? Here goes the again. You are your daughter's mother. I'm starting to believe the police don't have that tablet and that says she bought. I only think they have NAZIYAH school computer. I'm right there with you, Lola. That's true because her dumb butt reported it to the school, not the real police, and someone else reported it to the police, and they went to the school. Fact, Shank, after 30 days. Thank you. She really admitted it. I did nothing. Deplorable. You can't make this up, Kimberly. You can't make this up. Who is this little girl? Has she been identified? In February? What is really going on? Y'all gotta make this make sense. And see, this is what I'm saying as far as the twisted narratives, the lies that we all have been fed. So we going off of what was said. Then when it plays out, it come to find out that it wasn't true. They deliberately lied. They deliberately twisted the narrative. And Shannon, y'all funky asses ought to be ashamed of y'allself. 30 days later, and they went full throttle to find her. We need to go back and listen to the officers and detectives' testimony and listen to when they said they got involved. We're going to do that tomorrow, see? All right? That's what the demonstration tomorrow will be about. I'll do a part 1 and I'll do a part 2 on the main channel and here on the backup channel. We're going to go back to the detectives, the officers, and see what they said. Because you can't make this issue up. And I'll say it again, and I'll stand on mine. Shannon and Annette, y'all ought to be ashamed of yourselves. Wasn't the report taken by someone who retired and didn't hand over the information? Exactly. And you remember him, his whole thing was, I'm getting ready to retire. I wasn't worried about what was going on. I'm retiring in a few days. You can't make this ish up. I see you, Rose. Appreciate you for pulling up with me, Rose. You just can't make it up. Appreciate the super sticker, Miss Jackson. We are only 9 super stickers or super chats away from me reaching my goal for this demonstration. If you would like to help me reach my goal, just click on the $ symbol and purchase a super sticker or a super chat.
So you did go to the precinct. You went to the school, and the school called the police.
Yes, they called the police because I was getting ready to leave, and the dean said, "No, stay here." She said, "And we'll call the police."
Okay.
Somebody lying, y'all.
What if you can create your own website by saying, this is what I want? With Wix, you can.
Somebody lying. So we all been under the impression, I know I have, we all been under the impression Detroit Police Department don't get notified for 30 days later. Out their mouths. Out Kim Worthy's mouth. But here you have Miss Annette saying, nah, Detroit Police Department was notified that same day. Can't make this up.
Now, you mentioned that you are familiar with Mr. Butts, correct?
I know Mr. Butts.
Okay. And he dated your daughter, Shannon, correct?
Correct.
They did have 5 children, correct?
Correct.
And the children, did all the children stay with you and Shannon?
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, I don't want to give too much detail on the kids. What were the mix of boys and girls?
Can you repeat that?
What were the mix of the kids, boys and girls?
Well, I have a boy and girl, and Shannon has her 3 boys and her 2 girls.
So she had 3 boys and the 2 girls. Okay.
So according to Miss Annette had a boy and a girl, foster kids. When I mentioned that Miss Annette had foster kids, some people said, no, she didn't, Shank. Now, once again, maybe Miss Annette is lying about her foster kids. She didn't say Shank. She mentioned her foster kids, a boy and a girl. Appreciate the super sticker job. You can't make this ish up, y'all. You cannot make this ish up.
And at any time, now I think you did indicate that Mr. Butts would come over and I think you said he would rarely come in, correct?
Mm-hmm.
But he would come in on occasion, correct?
Not really on occasions, because most of the time when he came in, he would pull up in my driveway, and my daughter would go out to the truck, and a lot of times the kids will go out to the truck.
Now we have video footage. We got video footage of Jarvis being at a birthday party. Not really. Why didn't you say, well, not really? However, there was a birthday party where Jarvis did attend. But according to you, Jarvis don't come through. Will Miss Annette stick to her story? Will she stick to her testimony? Will she stick to this BS that she has said at the preliminary? They got the video footage of that party where you broke your neck to get to Jarvis. Miss Annette. Come on now, Miss Annette. Also, he was painting in the room. Come on, Miss Annette. Can't make this ish up, y'all. Can't make it up. You can't.
So it was very rare if he ever came in my house.
And you indicated that you were close, you were close with NAZIYAH?
Yes.
Can you think of any reason that NAZIYAH would not share information with you?
No. NAZIYAH would come to me and talk to me all the time.
Okay.
If something was bothering her, or if she had a bad day in school, she'll come to me and we'll sit and talk about it. I always kept the door open for communication with NAZIYAH.
One of the most important things that she needed, women's monthly necessities, and she did not come and talk to you about that. She went to the monster. Miss Annette, they're going to have a field day on you. They're going to have a field day on you, Miss Annette. I hope you're watching. Shannon, Marquita, somebody send this to Miss Annette. They're going to have a field day on you. They got the text messages. She asking Jarvis, she telling Jarvis she need these monthly necessities. You failed her at. Why you think they asking these questions? Come on. It ain't looking good for Miss Annette and Shannon. This going to come back to bite you in the ass. So you did say at the preliminary that NAZIYAH could come to you about anything. you did mention that the door is always open. Well, what happened to the door being open on this day that she needed those women's monthly necessities? Why did she have to go to Jarvis? That's what Jarvis is writing down. When you saying this, he writing that shit down. Okay. He's checking it off. Let me see what my chat got going on, y'all. She's saying what she think is the right thing to say instead of being honest, shaking my head. Family, please share the live out. Please share the live out to y'all social media platforms. If he read Rum NAZIYAH, he should be charged for the baby too. Facts. That's facts. Shut up, Annette. You are a straight line. Appreciate this super chat, Kimberly. I'm really enjoying this funky ass demonstration. Shank Rock, one of my troublemakers, never let me down. And I gotta put y'all on punishment, even though I appreciate the super chat, Kimberly. But you all have Kimberly to thank for the infamous picture of Jarvis' stable of women. All right. But it says she came to talk to you about everything. So then you knew about her and Mr. Butts. Facts. Facts. Because there was a CPS report where NAZIYAH mentioned Jarvis inappropriately touched her. Miss Annette, Miss Annette, Miss Annette. Sad as you know what, for real though. Thank you, LOL. All of them. I've been quiet all week. Yeah, I know you've been quiet all week. And you know what, y'all? You know what? Out of respect for my troublemaker, Kim, I'm going to take y'all off punishment. Because, look, even when I thought you was going to be a troublemaker, Kim, you wasn't. Are you feeling okay, Kimberly? Let me know if you feeling okay. Bridget says, Shank, I done got sick to my stomach looking at those wildebeests. I ain't gonna put y'all on punishment because Kimberly have been good all week, y'all.
And with really all of my children. So she always felt free, to come to me and sit down and talk to me about whatever.
So if something was frustrating NAZIYAH, she would come with you?
She would, that I know of, yes.
All right, if something was scaring NAZIYAH, she would come to you.
If something was bothering her or she was frustrated about something, she'll come to me and say, hey, Nana, can I talk to you?
If there was any medical condition, she would come to you regarding that?
I believe she would, yes.
You take her to the hospital, take her to the doctor?
Yes.
Okay.
Wow. Now here comes the $1 million picture. If she was pregnant, right? Why didn't Miss Annette do anything? Right? I've been busy, as you know what, doing way too much. Wow. She just don't want to tell it because she lied about NAZIYAH. Wow. You wasn't there for NAZIYAH, Miss Annette. You wasn't.
Just a moment.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. I have no further questions.
Can you redirect?
Ms. Harris, I just have a couple more questions for you. When Mr. Reagans was asking you questions, you said that Mr. Butts would come and sit in his car, right, outside your house?
Yes.
And he said that the kids would go out to the car.
Yes.
Which kids would go out to the car?
His kids.
Would NAZIYAH ever go with his kids out to the car?
If Shannon was out there, she would.
Oh. And Mr. Reagans also asked you about the tablet that you bought with NAZIYAH.
Yes.
Remember those questions?
Yes.
And when, if you can remember, narrow that down, when did you buy that tablet for her?
I bought that tablet for her one Christmas. I think it was I think it was in 22 when I bought that tablet, at the end of 22 when I bought that tablet for her.
So December of 22.
Yeah, I think that when I bought that tablet.
So she would have had that tablet for roughly just over a year then, correct?
Correct. Mm-hmm.
And did NAZIYAH also have access to a cell phone?
The only cell phone she had access to was one of the cell phones when my oldest daughter came to visit me. She gave to NAZIYAH, but she could only use it by Wi-Fi.
You said your oldest daughter, is that NAZIYAH's biological mother?
Yes.
Okay. And through, what's your oldest daughter's name?
Kenyatta Harris.
Through Kenyatta Harris, NAZIYAH got access to a phone?
Mm-hmm.
Is that a yes?
Yes.
Appreciate this super sticker, Kimberly.
Mr. Reagan's also asked you about NAZIYAH staying after school. You said that there was an after-school program she was involved in?
Yes.
On January 9th and in January of 24, was she still involved in that program?
No, I took her out of it because she was having problems with one of her schoolmates at that time. The same person that he asked me about before that she didn't get along with.
So if you knew that you took her out of this school program, why would you send the kids in the house to ask, did she come home? Why would, even when you found out that the kids, when you found out that she didn't come home, why then still did it not dawn on you, well, I took her out of the after school program, so I know that she's not at the after school program because I took her out. Let me come to the chat, y'all. I'm not going to do too much of Miss Annette, y'all, because she's the worstest. Are you referring to Granny Net losing her house? Yes. Shannon wasn't out there when Jarvie checked NAZIYAH for being in the truck with him. Annette's so fake. Didn't Jarvis buy her a phone, or am I wrong? I think she lying because how was she calling him and meeting up? Can't make this issue up, y'all. I ain't gonna spend too much longer on her. I believe that was Shannon texting in January. Exactly. Because she didn't care, she was gone. Did anyone call her phone to see where this baby was? Facts. Facts. Jacqueline, yes. Come on, pencil lip granny. Come on now, Miss Annette. Come on.
Same person Mr. Reagan's asked you.
Absolutely.
And so on the 9th, she was not supposed to stay after school.
No, she was supposed to come straight home.
And when she didn't come home, you said that you were driving around looking for her, correct?
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit more about what efforts you made on the 9th to locate her?
When I went to the school to go pick my son and daughter up because they were also in the after school program, picked them up, went back to the house. I thought she was there, and when I got to the house and I found out that she wasn't there, I got back in the car and I went back up to the school. And by that time, nobody was there. Nobody was at the school. So now, I mean, I'm kind of like, I'm frustrated. Now I'm going like, because whenever she wants to stay after school or do something, she would always call me. Well, hey, Nana, can I stay after school? Well, she would call one of her TTs, hey, TT, can I stay after school? So that wasn't like her. So I'm really frustrated now. So now I go back to the house and I'm talking to my daughter, Shannon.
I want to stop you right there because I don't want to go into what anybody else said.
Okay.
But you went back to the school. Nobody was at the school. You went back to the house. NAZIYAH is still not there, correct?
Correct.
Did you go back out looking for her after that?
I did.
Where did you go?
I was driving around in the neighborhood, everywhere. I'm just looking, just like hoping I'll see her,
Can we have one more picture? On the 9th, when you were looking for her, well, let me ask it this way. Did you know NAZIYAH to go to Mr. Butts' place of work to assist him with anything there?
Yes, there was a couple of times that she went with his daughter and they went up there to go clean up at his shop.
And how would they get there? If you remember.
He would come and pick them up.
And was that in that white truck that you talked about earlier?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And did you yourself know where Mr. Butts worked at?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Do you know, where is that?
It was Frank's shop located on Warren, East Warren.
And is that the last place that you knew him to work? Or did you know him to work somewhere else?
I knew him to work there, and then the shop moved to a different location.
Did you know where that new location was?
Personally, no.
Okay. And did you ever, on the 9th, did you ever try and go to Mr. Butts' place of work to look for NAZIYAH?
On the 9th, no.
All right, y'all. Let's chop it up a little bit. I'm going to take some comments from the chat, and then we're going to get out of here. So she didn't go on the 9th to look up at Jarvis. You know, why not? My opinion is, why not? You covered every other place. You know that, she goes up to the shop to work. So why wouldn't it dawn on you to ride up to Jarvis's shop and Frank's in a shop to see? Out of all the other places, because according to King, according to the sister, NAZIYAH was actually up at the shop. So according to the sister, if Miss Annette would have went looking for NAZIYAH up at the shop, she would have ran in NAZIYAH up at the shop. Lying, shaking my head. The house looks bad now. How could you go to sleep and this child never came? And that makes no sense. Police should got called when it got dark. That's facts, Yvette C. That's facts. I see you, caller. They said lady brought her a phone also. That's facts. She lying bad. That body language and how she holds her mouth like she don't care. It is evident. What phone did she use if she didn't have a phone according to what y'all said? You can't make this up. Now she wants to talk. I don't even see a tear on her. She is a heartless ass woman, all of them. That's facts, Bridget. I feel the same way that you feel. When kids grow up like this, anyway is better than home. I believe she's the ringleader. I see you, Lakeisha. Appreciate you for pulling up, Lakeisha. You can't make this up, y'all. At least it is to the children that got through this experience. That's the problem right here. They did not look for this baby. I found my baby 1.5. I see you, Miss Party Line. Wonder what Granny Nat did with that mortuary size freezer with the chains on it. In storage, maybe? Good question, Jacqueline. Good question. Appreciate you, Minnie. I found my baby in 2 to 5 hours. All right, y'all. We're going to get up out of here. I appreciate everybody for pulling up. Make sure y'all check out part 1 of this demonstration on my main channel. Tomorrow, we're going to revisit the officers and the detectives. We're going to backtrack them. All right? So make sure everybody pull up on the main channel tomorrow. I'm not sure. Tomorrow is football, so I'm not sure. I'll probably try to do it early, maybe like around 11. Not sure. She was too young to be at the shop. Make sure y'all hit the like button before y'all leave. Jacqueline, them poor kids didn't eat good food because they only gave them a small amount of food while they ate good. That's why they ate so much at school. Yep. I'm going to check it out now, Shank. They did not look for the child. Appreciate everybody for pulling up. I will leave the chat running and you all can hang around. Salute everybody.